Hey guys, I hope this angle's okay because my camera's turned so I can't see, but hi, how are ya? So just like last year, I filmed a few videos on my channel for you guys of me cooking on my LaNordica RosaL wood stove, which I love and cherish and adore. Love my wood stove. I have now had my LaNordica wood stove for a year, so I thought that I would do a little follow-up video to let you guys know how it's been going, how we like it, since this is now our second winter, our second season of using it. So yeah, I thought I would do like a little video to show you guys how I cook on it, because during the winter time I cook on it every single day that it is in use. So basically, if it is cold, I am using my stove to heat my house and cook my food. So for tonight's dinner, we are doing something really simple. My husband requested a stroganoff tater tot casserole. So basically, it's kind of like beef stroganoff, but without the pasta, and we put it over tater tots. So that is what we are gonna have for dinner tonight. Yeah, so I'm gonna be making that solely on the wood stove. But before we get to the cooking part of the video, I wanted to kind of do like an overview of how we're loving the RosaL wood stove, because it is honestly exceeding our expectations. We absolutely love it. I have a couple of cooking videos on my channel from when I was pregnant last year. If you want to see those videos, I'll link them in the corner of the screen. I'm sure you guys have seen them already. I also did a really full comprehensive review of the stove, and yeah, we just love it. The reason I'm showing it to you guys is because we are homesteading. We homestead now on our property. We do a vegetable garden every year. I am really into pressure canning. We can a lot of our food. In fact, right now we are living off mostly canned food at the current moment. I haven't been to the grocery store in almost 2 weeks. It's amazing because we worked so hard and canned so much food last year from our garden, and this year we plan on expanding that, and it's gonna be so fun. This is the stove. As you can see, it's just as beautiful as it was last year. It's held up beautifully. I cook on it almost every single day, and we have absolutely no complaints. Cooked a lot of our Thanksgiving meals in this. We cooked a lot of our Thanksgiving food dishes in this. And also Christmas. We hosted Thanksgiving and Christmas here, and we cooked a lot of it on the stove, so that was really nice. But yeah, we absolutely love it, and it gets the most use out of anything we have, definitely. All right, so let's get into the cooking portion of the video. So the first thing I gotta do is I'm gonna cook the meat up on the stove. We have deer and beef, so I'm just gonna be picking one of those and cooking it on the stove, probably beef, and then we're gonna use that to make the homemade stroganoff. It's really simple. Normally I would do the stroganoff portion with like heavy cream and from scratch, but I don't have any, so I'm gonna be using canned cream of mushroom today, which is not my favorite. Like I said, we're not going to the grocery store right now. We are eating what we have from our pantry. So everything we have is just what we have in the house, and that's what we came up with. So we are gonna put it over tater tots, and then the tater tots are frozen. So we're gonna put it over the tater tots, and then we're going to bake them in the wood stove until it is done, and then we'll add cheese and then bake it a second time. So it's gonna be delicious, and I will show you guys that process. All right guys, so this is everything that you'll need for this recipe for our stroganoff type tater tot casserole. So this is everything you'll need. We'll go over it really quickly, but it's honestly not a lot of ingredients, and like over half of this stuff you probably already have in your pantry. So you need a baking dish, any size based on how big of a casserole you want to make. In terms of seasonings, we'll go over that first. You do need some garlic powder. Again, you can do yours differently, but this is what I do to make it taste like stroganoff. Onion powder, pepper, salt, and Worcestershire. This is actually really important if you want to make it taste like actual stroganoff. This is a key ingredient. A can of cream of mushroom, a bag of tater tots. This is the cheese for the topping at the end, and then a pound of any meat you want. I'm using some ground beef because we actually got a lot of this for reduced. It was like $3 for a pound, which is a really good deal, at least with inflation the way that it is. We do have a lot of deer, but I actually have like 4 or 5 pounds of this that I want to use up before we tear into the deer. So that is all you got to do. So now we are gonna start cooking it. So I've got my wood stove heated up. You can see the fire's going really, really hot and strong. Hi, sissy. Hi, baby. And then I've got my oven at 400 degrees. So as soon as this topping is done, we'll be putting the casserole in there. So the oven is hot and the top is also hot. So the first thing you want to do is heat your pan. Anytime you are cooking on a wood cook stove, you are going to want to make sure to heat your pan first. If you put your meat or anything on a cold pan, it's not going to start cooking immediately. It's going to take a long time. So just make sure that your stove is really hot, your oven's hot, and your pan is hot. And then we are gonna go on and toss in this ground beef. And you'll probably hear this sizzle because my pan is hot. Just like so. And we are gonna let that start cooking. All right, so once you've got your meat of choice cooked, then you're gonna wanna drain it, and then we'll work on seasoning it really, really well. So this is basically done, so I'm gonna go and drain this, and then I'll be right back. Now that it's drained, add in your can of cream of mushroom. Again, I prefer homemade cream of mushroom. I don't really like the canned, but it's all I have right now. So we're gonna put that in there and then mix it up. And then we are gonna do our seasonings after we stir this cream of mushroom in. It looks thick, but the cream of mushroom, the cream in it really does melt down after it's been on here for a minute in the heat. All right, the first seasoning I'm gonna do is the Worcestershire. I really love this, so I'm very generous with it because it gives it such a really good stroganoff taste. Do some salt. Now the Lea & Perrins is pretty salty, so I'm not gonna add too much, just a little bit. Okay, and then we are gonna do our onion powder. I like a lot of it to give it a really, really good flavor. And then we're gonna do the garlic powder. And you can taste it at this point once you mix it to see what you need more or less of. The cream of mushroom really does need a lot of good seasoning to get this to a proper stroganoff flavoring. But the Worcestershire does most of the heavy lifting for that. So yeah, it's gonna be really, really good. I'm gonna taste test this, and then it may be ready for the tater tots. It's super simple, super easy, and it's a really, really easy, yummy meal. All right, so we brought it back in the kitchen. It tastes perfect for my taste, but you can obviously adjust the seasonings however you want. At this point is where you would put in your boiled noodles if you wanted to do that, or if you were making this from scratch and you were doing milk instead of the can, which, you know, I would do the milk version instead of the can. You could just add your noodles right in there and cook it up in there, but this is where you would add your noodles if you were doing regular stroganoff. Now you're gonna wanna take your tater tots and layer them in a flat, thin layer in here. These are the tater tots I'm using, and you just do a flat layer of them. Literally rows, that's just what I do. I think I normally do them this way. And this turns out so delicious, and it's so easy. And I think kids would like it. I honestly put ketchup and Kewpie mayo on it, and it's just so good. That's how I eat it. Patrick likes to just eat it plain. You can also make this into a cheeseburger version, which Patrick also really likes. And I like it too, it's really good, but I prefer the stroganoff. But you can not add the cream of mushroom, and you can just do the hamburger, like cooked hamburger with like sauteed onions or bell peppers or something like that. And then you can just put it over the tater tots, bake it, top it with cheese, and then you could put like, you could honestly do anything. You could do lettuce and tomato with ketchup and mayonnaise and mustard and eat it like a burger, like casserole. I mean, we've done that before. It's super good. There's a tiny tater tot. We always keep tater tots on hand because we do a lot of these casseroles just when it's quick and it's easy. All right, just like that. Now, the next thing we're gonna do, I hope you guys can see this really good. The next thing we're gonna do is add our stroganoff mixture to the top. And you literally just, as simple as it sounds, just dump it on there. We just dump it. Now, you don't put the cheese on until the end when the tater tots are fully cooked, because if you do, the cheese will burn. And burnt cheese is disgusting and the stuff of nightmares, so definitely don't do that. And the tater tots get crispy on the bottom. They really do somehow. It's amazing. They don't get soggy, which I love. Now we go and put this in the wood stove and get to baking those tater tots. All right, so this is what the casserole looks like and the size of the dish. It looks about 13 inches long, but yes, we're gonna go on and put that in, and it's gonna be absolutely delicious. I'm gonna put it on the top because it will cook faster on the top. Right. Just like so. And that's something really important to remember. When you're cooking with a wood stove, the top rack in the oven will always cook faster than the middle or the bottom. The bottom is the slowest. So that's why I have my racks at different levels, but that's the fastest. All right, so this just came out of the oven. This is what it looks like. You can see the meat has cooked and the tater tots are cooked on the bottom. Now it is time to spread some cheese, and then we're gonna put it back in the wood stove and bake it just long enough to melt the cheese on top, and then this is done, completely done. It's gonna be delicious. All right. Okay, now we are gonna go put this back in the wood stove. It is very hot, so we gotta be careful. See if it's done. Oh yes, oh my gosh, it looks so good, doesn't it?
Yep.
Oh, thank you, Patrick, for helping me film. Look at that. Doesn't it look so good? It's gonna be delicious. That's done. Cooked to perfection. All right, guys, this is done. It looks absolutely delicious. So the cheese is melted, it's hot, and I'm gonna show you guys how I plate it up. This is just how I eat it. Patrick doesn't eat it with condiments, but I like it. So you basically can just scoop it out any way you like. Just scoop it all. Delicious, delicious. It's super hot and fresh. And then I like to take some Kewpie, and I personally like to just drizzle Kewpie on it like so, and then I usually take a little bit of ketchup, and sometimes I do mustard. I'm not doing mustard today, and I'll just do a little bit of ketchup like so, and then I just eat it like that. It's so good. All right, guys, that is it for this cooking video on my LaNordica RosaL wood cook stove, which I love. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of this simple recipe. I'm gonna put some clips in at the end of this video of so many more things that I have baked and cooked in this stove and on this stove, and I hope you guys enjoy all of those clips. If there's anything else you guys want to see with the stove, let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you want more cooking videos, I can definitely film that. I know I've filmed a couple, but I can do more if you enjoy seeing them. I love filming them because I'm cooking on this thing every day, so it wouldn't be a problem. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Be kind. Bye.